Welcome back. Now, the Pakistani government and the army are openly engaged in a face-off after the military brazenly rejected an order passed by the civilian government. Pakistani Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif fired his special assistant on foreign affairs Saeed Tariq Fatemi over allegations of leaking details of a confidential meet. But the spokesperson of the Pakistan Army, Major General Asif Ghafoor, dismissed the order, claiming that it's incomplete. Now, the face-off is over. A report in the Pakistani media last year which claimed that the civilian leadership had accused the Pakistani army of shielding terrorists, which was causing isolation on the international stage. All right, let's cut across to Kashwar Klasra and Gaurav Sawant, our executive editor. Kashwar, would you give us more details on this development?
Well, you have rightly pointed out that the Pakistan Army started a rejected what it termed the federal government's notification on the Dawn leak inquiry, saying it was incomplete and not in the line with recommendation by the inquiry board. And, the Army announced the rejection in a tweet signed by Director General ISP, Major General Ghafoor, from his official Twitter account. And you have rightly pointed out that last year, the Dawn leaks has stirred, the confrontation between the civilian government and the Pakistan's army. And the report stated that the Pakistan army have been shielding the terrorists from, getting under the hook. So this is what I'm getting from my sources and also from the official in Islamabad. And so for it, apparently, it's army versus civilian government right now.
You know, Gaurav, let's bring you in. It's an open secret, with what we're witnessing here. And if it is army versus the Pakistan government, I think the world knows who has the upper hand here.
Preeti, you're spot on there. In fact, this is the Pakistan army showing an elected government and a popularly elected government its place in the scheme of things in Pakistan. A major general of the Pakistan army overrules a notification issued by the government that has the clearance of Pakistan's Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif. So that just shows what validity and power Pakistan's Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif actually has on ground. And this is extremely significant also because the world is watching Pakistan. It's not just the India policy or the US policy or the China policy or the Afghanistan policy where the Pakistan army calls the shots. Even domestically on issues of security or even after the information and broadcasting minister was sacked or the advisor to the prime minister was removed, the Pakistan army says, no, this is not what the committee said. It set aside these notifications and they will then decide who all are to be sacked and what action is to be taken. Now, this coming after the Panama Papers shows just how weak is Nawaz Sharif in Pakistan's scheme of things.
That's what I was coming to, Gaurav, because if you look at it in light of the verdict on the Panama Papers, and even if you look at it, Nawaz Sharif has another 2 months or a little less than 2 months there.
Spot on there. So till the time there are elections in 2018, Nawaz Sharif is a lame duck prime minister in Pakistan. The Panama Papers, as you rightly pointed out, they've shown him his place. So 60 days is where the next course of action will be taken against him. Whatever evidence he's so far put forward, that's been rejected, including his claims that the money came from the royal family of Qatar that was invested overseas. All of that evidence rejected. So he's very weak. This shows just how weak he is. And, the world today is calling Pakistan out. It's a weak civil society that still is telling Pakistan's army what they've done is wrong. But very clearly, it's Pakistan army that calls the shots in Pakistan, whether it's their foreign policy or their domestic policy now.
All right, appreciate you joining us, gentlemen. We'll come back to you for more updates on that story.